Hello, my friends, and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel, the channel where I like to talk about the good, the bad, all we have to know about Italy, but in particular about the properties for sale in Italy. So I study the house market from Monday to Friday. And so today's video is about properties, all right, but I will just share my opinion in what is convenient and what it might not be convenient. And I go through one comment that has been written under one of my videos, which I found very interesting comment. So this it will help to develop the topic. Now, before I start reading this comment, please put like and subscribe if you like this type of videos. You can join my Facebook group and so on. But so let's start. Now, the question that had been asked to me is this one. If you had 100,000 euro, 100k total to spend in Italy, where would you buy with the idea of it being an investment to potentially sell later? This is a very good question. I think many of you are asking to themselves this question. This 100k is the amount including lawyers and fees. So what actual etc. So what actual price of property would I aim for? 80k and expect to spend 20k on fees and taxes, etc. Okay, so he put it like that. Let's enter into the topic. He put it like that. I have 100k budget. I might find something around 80,000 euro and to spend 20k on fees. Okay, first of all, in this case, I would try to cut the fees. And the best way to cut the fees in this case is simply to try to not buy through an agent, through an agency, through an estate agent, through a realtor. Try to make a deal with a private seller. In this case, I'm already saving a good amount of money out of these 100,000. Maybe I will save, I'm not saying 10,000, a bit less, 5, 6,000, probably. If the property is around 80, I might save, let's say 6, 7,000 euro just on the agent fees. And this is to answer to this part of the question. Then I go back to the first part of the question. So I have 100k to spend in Italy. Where would you buy the idea of being an investment to potentially sell later? Okay, my friends. Now, I would never buy in Italy as an investment to potentially sell later. In particular, in this moment, there is only one condition, okay, but the condition comes after my, let's say, principle. I call it principles where I would buy and why I would buy. Okay, so basically, where would I buy? Now, I'm planning to buy a property, probably in the next 6 months, 1 year, because I'm interested in buying a property. The reason why I want to buy this property is because I want to move to the place, so where I will buy. And so now I'm trying to understand the area. Okay, so it's very important to say, okay, where I will decide to move. And technically, there are 3 areas where I'm potentially attracted. Now, I will start from the north, all right, from the northern part, and one is close to Pescara and Chieti, these 2 cities in Abruzzo region. So I'd say I would buy close to the city, not in these cities, because I don't like the life in the cities, but I would buy in a small town, let's say 10, maximum 15 minutes driving from these 2 cities. So Pescara and Chieti. This is about Abruzzo region, okay? Then if I go southern direction, two areas of Apulia region, okay? So one which is not far from where I am now, which is the BAT province, which is the most unknown province in Apulia region. Again, Apulia has Foggia province, which is the northest. Then there is the BAT, Barletta Andria Trani. Then we have Bari, Taranto, Brindisi, and Lecce. Now, I'm thinking also about this province, BAT. And in this province, there are two towns. I can call it city. They are quite big, okay. One is Trani and one is Barletta. Now, in these two cities, because they are on the sea, I would be interested to buy in the cities. All right. They are not very big cities. So I'm talking about 60, 70,000 inhabitants, 100,000 inhabitants. This is the range. So I'm still talking about the location. These two cities, Barletta and Trani. And in this case, if I go for this one of these two, I would buy in the city. All right. Always trying to buy a townhouse in these two cities. All right. Then the third place where I would be interested to buy is Brindisi. Okay, Brindisi province. But again, about Brindisi, the same as for Pescara and Chieti. I won't buy in Brindisi, okay, but I would buy in the suburban area, let's say 10, 15 minutes driving from Brindisi. Now, because you can easily commute, all right, so Chieti, Pescara, the surrounding area, the 15 minutes driving is you can easily commute. And Brindisi province, also you can easily commute if you buy. Then why, for example, now I described you for now up to now. I described you the locations. Okay, these three: Brindisi, surrounding area, 15 minutes driving; Barletta and Trani, the towns, to buy in the towns, one of these two, or Pescara and Chieti, which they are quite close, these two cities, but in the surrounding area. Okay, these are the three targets that I have. Then, once I described you now the location, I have to tell you the budget. Okay, how much would I spend, for example, to buy in these three areas? Okay, let's start always from Pescara and Chieti. Now, if I go for a small town around Pescara and Chieti, I won't spend more than 50,000 euro. That would be my budget. So I go with 50,000 euro budget, and I have to find a townhouse in a town, in a small town around these two cities. Townhouse, never flat. So I never buy flats. I don't like flats. I lived enough of my life in the flats. In Italy, no, I'd rather go for a townhouse simply because you don't have management fees. So you are already cutting some expenses. And then if you buy cash, you don't have to pay any insurance. Then it's up to you if you want to pay a home insurance or not, but you are free. If you are, because if I buy without mortgage, because no one bank will ever allow me a mortgage. Never allowed me in the past. So all the properties I bought, I always bought cash, and I will keep buying cash always. No mortgage. So 50,000 euro for the area of Pescara, Chieti, surrounding area. 15 minutes driving from Pescara or from Chieti. That means also very close to the sea, because I'm always looking for a place that is not far from the sea. Maximum 10-15 minutes driving from the sea. Sorted Pescara Chieti, 50,000 euro maximum for a house that I don't have to renovate. Keys in hands. I'm gonna live as it is, all right? Always zero renovations, or as less as possible, 2-3,000 euro. private deal from a private seller. So I need to investigate. I need to go there and investigate myself. Avoid agency. All right. I'm not. I don't need an agency. Then let's go back now. Let's go to Barletta and Trani. For Barletta and Trani, my budget would be a bit higher, simply because we are in the cities. But the two cities are on the sea. So I see the potential, okay, to spend, let's say, 80,000 euro maximum for a house, again, that I don't have to renovate. I believe that maybe I can even get it for 60 or for 70, possible to find a good deal. But my budget in this case would be a tiny bit higher than, um, as I said, for Pescara and Chieti, simply because I'm living in the city and I'm on the sea. I'm talking about property that is for me to live, not to rent out. Okay. Then let's move to Brindisi province. For Brindisi province, the concept is the same as for Pescara and Chieti. Budget, maybe a tiny bit more. It could go up to 60,000 euro for a townhouse in a small town, 10, 15 kilometers, 10, 15 minutes driving from Brindisi city. Okay, Brindisi has the airport, has Pescara, has the airport. Oh, Barletta and Trani are very close to Bari. You can reach Bari in 30 minutes driving. Now, it's a pity that this area is a lot underestimated by the expats, because I'd love to work on this area. This area is so close to Bari, so you're very close to an international airport. You have hospitals, you have all the services that you might need, because we are talking about big cities, big, medium-sized cities. There are other cities in the inner part of Apulia region, like Andria. And then, anyway, you are very, very close to Bari and to all the destinations, big towns around Bari, like Bisceglie, Monopoli, Polignano a Mare, all these towns, Andria, many towns. So Barletta and Trani have this advantage. Going back to Brindisi, so 50,000, 50, 60,000 euro maximum for a townhouse. Again, 10, 15 minutes driving to commute to Brindisi. 10, 15 minutes driving from the sea. So these are my goals. Always private seller. So I need to investigate. Obviously, now the reason why I would go mainly, let's say, for Pescara Chieti and for Brindisi, it's also because the way I'm running the channel and the way I would like to support expats to buy properties in Italy, to find a way to help them to find the house they like. I don't know, different type of services that I haven't developed yet. And I'm sure I can, there are already many people doing this type of services, maybe to work with an agency, with an estate agent. So simply to give my support, help them to selling more houses, for example. So Brindisi and Chieti and Pescara are very attractive area for expats. All right. And in this case, these two places would help myself to develop my business that I haven't developed yet. I have no rush. I have plenty of time. So I'm not rushing to reach my goals, let's say. At the moment, I'm still studying the situation and so on. But now, up to now, nearly 15 minutes, and I haven't answered yet the real question that have been asked to me, okay? And the real question is if I would buy for profit in case to resell this property in the future. Now, I don't want to go too much deep into this subject because I think it would make the video would be too long, and I'm not happy to make too much long videos. But I don't see technically the potential in Italy to resell for a higher price as an investment where to make profit. I have to be honest. At the moment, I don't see this chance. I don't. I don't buy at the moment. I alt myself. I don't buy as an investment to make profit. The reasons are quite simple, simply because we are, according, in my opinion, we are in a phase where the prices, anyway, they are very, very high. They are high all over, not only in Italy. So I never enter into a market when the prices are too high. I go if I need this place where to live. Like myself now, I decided, because I need to live in areas where the expats, anyway, are interested to buy, and help them, anyway, to buy a property for themselves. Can be as an investment, can be holiday home, or they simply want to retire, or they want to move there. They're digital nomads, for any of the reasons why people would like to move to Puglia or to Abruzzo. All right. I could also mention Sicily, but it's not my territory. Sicily is quite far from me. I don't know much about Sicily. If I was closer to Sicily, I would, or if I was Sicilian, or if I decided to relocate there, then I would have worked on the Sicilian market, which is for me very similar to the Abruzzo, Molise, and also to the Apulian market. So I see these three markets. Now, to close the video, there is technically a potential to make some profit, all right, by purchasing a property. And the only way, the only reason why I can technically foresee a kind of profit by buying a property in this area, including also Lecce province, for example, is because there is this trend of the expats buying properties in Italy, or in particular in these areas, which are 7% taxation, if the towns are under 20,000 inhabitants, and so on. So technically, let's put it like that. Let's say I buy a house in Brindisi province, because I think 80% I would go for 70% I would go for Brindisi province, 20% Pescara Chieti, 10% Barletta Trani. So this is the percentage that I put. So 70% I would go for Brindisi province. Now, because in Brindisi province there is this trend from expats to buy, the point, let's put it like that. If I buy a house for 50,000 euro, let's say I buy for myself, okay, and then I see that in 2 years I can resell this house for 75, because the trends of the expats is pushing the prices in this area up, I'd say then in this situation I can even think about selling the property, for example. So I buy for 50, 60, maybe resell it for 75, 80. I don't see more gain than what I'm telling you, but I see technically the potential to easily resell the property, because this is very, very important. If I buy a property in an area that is kind of not really attractive for the expats, I'd say if I'm waiting for Italians to buy, Italians might buy, but they will never buy at a higher price. Well, for example, I'm not saying that this is fooling, okay? I don't want to fool anyone, but a house in Brindisi province that I buy for 50, and let's say I resell it for 70, or I buy for 60 and I resell it for 80, I make my gain, let's say, and someone is happy to buy a property in this area. I mean, obviously, simply because there is this trend. This is also what I noticed, that basically expats who have bought Italy are technically reselling property to expats. Then, for example, if I live in Brindisi area, it's much easier, because expats are attracted by this area, for me to make videos about properties for sale. So I can go personally into the house and make the video and then promote to people around the world who would like to buy. So then if I say, for example, okay, for me the perfect price is 60, but then if I find technically someone who is ready to spend 80, why not? I mean, this is the market, let's say, buy and sell property. Actually, yesterday I came across a property in Gallipoli, fully renovated, beautiful three-story house with a lift, and they're asking 1 million euro. I mean, what is the gain of the seller? How much did the seller bought this property? So is he making 100, 200, 300,000 euro profit? So anyway, it's about, let's say, the fact that I won't be able to make massive profit, to double or triple. Forget about it. Anyway, also about when we are talking about doubling the price, doubling the selling price, or tripling the selling price, it takes 10 years. Now, if I wait 10 years, potentially in an area, doesn't matter where, I can technically triple the value of the property, but maybe in a time period, in a time range like 10 years, you don't double the value of the property in 2 years, in 3 years. You might gain a 20%, 25%, something like this. Anyway, it's a not complicated topic, but it's a topic that I like, that I keep studying every day. So I'm telling you what my budget is. I'm telling you the location where I would buy, and potentially, again, I buy for myself, for me to move in these areas because I see there's more potential for me to develop my profession in these areas, because these areas, anyway, my channel is for expats, my channel is for foreigners. So I want to try to help foreigners also to find the property that they like. All right. Anyway, so this is it, my friends. Obviously, there were more. Um, it was also wondering if there's any sense in buying 2 or 3 cheaper properties over the 100K. Again, if you are planning to buy as an investment to make profit, I tell you, this is the margin that I'm giving to you. Okay, so let's say that you are buying a property for 80,000 euro in an area that is attractive for from other expats, from foreigners. Okay, then maybe in 3 years you might be able to resell it for 100 if the trend keeps growing. All right. Then obviously we should also consider the uncertain times that we are living. Are we sure that the prices of the houses will stay up? Are we sure that, anyway, there's a lot of uncertainty, that this is not pushing me to invest in more than one property if it's not for me to live. As an investment, I could buy one, but not because it's an investment, because I'm interested to buy. I'm interested to have my own place. I don't have to expect to make profit. If I'm lucky, in brackets, I can make, let's say, out of 80,000 euro, I can make 20,000 euro profit, resell it for 100. Again, private sale without agencies. That will help you to, let's say, to spend less money and just notary fees, maybe with geometra to contact that, but to spend as minimum as possible. Then obviously it's also possible to avoid the geometra in case all the papers are fine. Anyway, my friends, there's a lot to say. There's so much to say that it's not easy to say everything just in one video. Let me know what your opinion is. So again, the 3 areas where I would buy, not as an investment, just for me to live. And if I'm able to make a little profit after 2 or 3 years, then I might even think to go for it. But then I have to find something else for me, all right, because I still need a place where to live. All right, my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you here on Italy, A Place to Love YouTube channel. Please put like and subscribe if you haven't done up to now. It's really helping the algorithm, anyway, to help my channel. All right, I'll see you here on Italy, A Place to Love YouTube channel. Bye.